Hi guys, and today we'll be looking at this rather old locomotive. This locomotive stands back from the 70s, I think. This version came out in 79, if I remember correctly. The LBSC version, they also did a southern green, I think it was more of an olive green, and they also did a BR version, and then obviously the tooling went to become Thomas, which was a great shame. So this is my take on this old classic, which you can pick up rather cheaply. There may be some errors in the video, like it's a little bit fast over points. It's got a ticking motion on the back, but it's a cheap locomotive for people to practice skills on. I know I have, so let's get into it, shall we? On the front of the locomotive, as you can tell, it's well moulded, very much moulded. It is a plastic body though. The buffers are plastic, firmly moulded plastic as well. We have a big decoupling. We also have a moulded hook. That's about it. There's two holes for the details. I think there's a vacuum pipe which should have come with a detail back, but I didn't get one. The cylinders for the inside are the clips to undo the body, which is nice. It is in this umber brown livery. We do have a metal handrail on the smoke box door area. That is moulded. That also does come away, like so. And it's pretty easy to put back in as well. There it goes in. Pretty easy to put back in. So yeah. We have a chimney as well and some handrails down the side. As we move on to the side of the locomotive, there is differences to the locomotive, but not much. They both have a Westonhouse pump, which I believe it's called. We also have some steps below the cab and just where the tanks start. We also have it in this lovely lined umber livery, LBSC, and it's number 100. It's not as good as Bachmann's or modern day liveries of this, but it's still a nice looking locomotive. We also have a metal handrail and we have some safety valves, and the whistle is actually metal and it's quite sturdy as well, hard to break. As we move on to the other side of the locomotive, there is one tiny different detail, and that's where the tanks start. You can see a little support beam or some sort of reverser rod, it could be. I'm unsure what it is, but that's the only difference I can see on the model. The lining is exactly the same around here. It's the gold or yellow lining with the umber as well. We also have the steps around here as well. We have the number 100. We also have on both sides of the locomotive, we also have some brakes that are moulded, but they're there and they are quite nice looking, if I'm honest with you. As we move on to the cab is nothing to speak about really. It's the cab of the day back in the 70s. It does have some handrails though, and a handbrake inside. It looks separately applied. Failing that, it's just moulded stuff in there, probably highly detailed for the time. The cab roof itself is painted lovely in black, and it also has the duckets to stop the rain falling on the crew. There is no glazing in there either. Onto the back of the locomotive, pretty much like the front, it is pretty much moulded. The lining is fantastic though. We do have some grates at the top of the windows, but there's no glazing in there. We also have the coils, which are moulded as well. So are the lamp irons and steps, they're moulded as well, along with the buffer beam detail and the buffers themselves. The buffers are painted black, which is a nice touch, and we have that big fat decoupling. As we do a bird's eye view of the locomotive, the coal isn't too bad for its age, it's just there, it's black. The cab roof is black, like I said. The whistles and safety valves are plastic and the whistle is metal, really strong metal as well. As we move across, we have some detail on the tanks, which doesn't look too bad, seeing it's moulded. There's some air pockets and the filler caps for the water. We also have that wonderful lining, if I'm honest with you, it does look quite nice. It must just be me with the London, Brighton and South Coast locos. We also have a dome. We have a chimney which you can see through as well. And we have the metal handrails, which is a great, fantastic touch there by Hornby. And finally we move on to the underneath of the locomotive. As you can see, there's not much to look at down here. We do have these big fat wheels, which are typical for the day of the model. We also have three screws to take off the motor and stuff like that, hold it in place. The shell itself just clips in. There's 2 clips at the front and 1 at the back, I believe, got that correct. We also have only 2 pickups on this loco, or mine does anyway. Still a fine runner, may I add. We also have some springs, moulded springs behind the wheels. Still a great touch, still a nice looking loco. So yeah guys, that's it on the tracks. As you can tell, it's on the second radius at the inner loop. So it definitely can do second radius. It has a smaller flange than the other 2, so it's easily do it, and it's built in the 70s. So yeah, next up will be the points test, and then we'll take it from there. A little bit fast at, what's that, 30, but yeah, a little bit fast for an old loco. So yeah, we managed that points test pretty okay, pretty fast, especially for a loco of its age. It was pretty fast if I'm honest with you, and my camera work wasn't the best. So next up was low speed and a running session. I'll see you at the end. Yeah, managed that pretty well. What we're talking there? 40, yeah. Does run a little fast though. So yeah guys, that's the end of the running session and review. My opinion on this, for its age, still a nice runner, even though it's got 2 pickups, or mine did anyway. I wish somebody would make a retooled version, high spec retool would be nice. This model is quite old now. It was like the 70s, late 70s. So yeah, pretty old. The stock it ran with was a mixed freight, as you know. And then secondly, it had, as you see, the LNER 6-wheelers by Hornby, which them themselves are fantastic. If I'm honest, the Great Northern ones that I've seen look a lot like Annie and Clarabelle. Just putting it out there. So yeah, I'm a big fan of these. For an old girl, it runs pretty well. There's no hiccups as such. Got stuck at one of the fish plates, I believe. But failing that, ran fantastic. Like I said, easy to maintain. Even for me, I learned a lot doing these. Would be interested to see someone put sound in or hardwire these for DCC. Also, they're pretty cheap as well. I think like £30–40. So yeah. Anyway guys, it's goodbye from this beauty and it's goodbye from me. Bye.